All right, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, we are live. Welcome to another episode of Smash Time Led Therapy. Hold on, let me go get the pop out chat ready. Let's see the channel. Today's going to be a fun day. Sorry I'm late. I was stuck in Houston traffic and it was absolutely unbearable. Let's do the pop out chat. Pop out chat there. Now I can get rid of this guy. I don't have to look at this ugly face staring at me. All right. Hey, Zeus. You know what, man? I got to tell you, you are probably one of the most loyal subscribers, man. Awesome. It's always good to see you, bud. Let me make sure it looks good. All right. FocusTripp may or may not show. Man, I'm a little late, so I wouldn't blame him if he didn't. But let me get the ball rolling here. Yeah, so I left work a little bit late. Traffic was a bear, and that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. BC 2008, what's up, man? BC 2008. I wonder who that is. BC. BC. Jesus, it's all right. Shit happens. I know, but here I am. And I didn't have my personal phone today all day. I just had my work phone. So it was no bueno. I couldn't talk to anybody, but let's see. Talks amongst yourselves. Man, so I got in so much trouble over that laser video I did. It was wild. So I did a video. I don't know if you guys saw it. I did a video a few days ago on a laser. I thought it was a really cool laser. And apparently I didn't have the right glasses. And a lot of people thought I was being irresponsible. And I had about 20 personal messages on Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, man, you got to have these glasses on. You could have went blind." And man, now I know, right? Now I know. So, and I guess knowing is half the battle. So let's see. Jesus, you're the only one here with me, man. Just me and you, bro, against the world. That's what what I was thinking about doing. Jesus, I don't know if you were a channel member back when I used to do a lot of lives, and I actually did one where I had subscribers call in, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think I might bring that back. So maybe we'll do a subscriber call-in show. Yeah, might be able to do a subscriber call-in show. Hold on, this gap right here is driving me nuts. Let's put another gun there. Oh, much better. You gotta decorate, folks. You gotta decorate. You gotta see what's going on. Yeah, that looks much better. Yeah. All right, we got a few people in the chat. So big news today. Suppressors. I don't know about you, but I was dying to go out and get a suppressor today, but I don't know. I don't know if we should really mess with that yet. I'm kind of, I don't know. That whole suppressor thing really has me excited and stressed out at the same time, because I'm hoping, knock on wood, that it works. My connection's breaking up. Great. Story of my life, folks. So mine, I don't know. My connection says I have full bars across the board, so I don't know. We're still working it out. So I had a really cool camera setup here, and I recently put a new. Is it still breaking up now? How's the connection, guys? Is it breaking up? Is it pretty good? I don't know. It's not going too great. Still working out all the kinks. Maybe I could lower the resolution. What do you think? Let's see. Camera. Oh man, that looks great. No, it's set to 1080, 1080p. I don't know. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. But yeah, so what do you guys think about this suppressor stuff? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's got me excited and stressed out at the same time. I love suppressors. I shoot with suppressors all the time. And now, since I'm getting older, um, oh man, my picture is frozen, I guess. Let's see. I'm breaking up my connection. Not good. Not good. Let me figure something out, folks. Let me figure something out and I'll be right back. I'll try and do this one more time. All right. Let's see. All right, we are back. Are we live? We're back. All right, we're going to start over. Welcome to another episode of Smash Time Lead Therapy. Welcome back to the show. Let's see. All right. Hey, Zeus, are you still in here, man? How is it looking now? Are we good? Is everything going great? I appreciate everybody hanging out. And I think it's going good now, huh? Nice. Nice. Way to go. Way to go, me. All right, let's do this. Let's pop out the chat and close this out because I don't want to look at myself. All right, nice. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Let Therapy. I appreciate everyone coming in now that I'm able to move and talk and all that good stuff. But really quick, how many of you are super excited about the suppressors? I'm jacked. I'm excited. I'm hoping the suppressor law isn't going to be kind of gimmicky, or I don't know. I just hope it stays. I mean, we haven't had a really good win in the 2A community for a while, and this one, I think, if it pans out and it stays, it sticks. And so far, it looks like some shops were selling a lot of suppressors today. Um, yeah, some shops are not selling suppressors yet. They're still kind of waiting. I guess Monday, the ATF is going to, send out formal instructions on how to handle the situation. But um, I don't know. Oh man, I think my connection is still not going great. Let's see. Oh, I'm breaking up bad. Not good. Jesus says, "Do you do any ammo hunting lately?" No, not lately. So I had a good friend of mine come across about 5 cases of Cellar and Bellet 124 grain 9 millimeter, and I bought them extremely cheap. So yeah, I haven't bought any 9 millimeter ammo in some time. I'll probably be going this weekend. Let's see. We have Wade Howard, 56. Wade Howard, what's going on, man? I haven't seen that name in the chat in some time. Welcome to the chat. We were just talking about suppressors and all that good stuff. Jesus, do you have any suppressors? Wade, do you have any suppressors? And if you do, what kind do you have? Joe Morris, what's up, man? Appreciate it. Anything new you're looking into for the year gun related? Oh man, I am so excited that Keltec Nub Sub. Look, man, people give Keltec a rough time. I love Keltec. I think they're innovators. I think the stuff is really good. Um, as far as guns, I'm looking for the future. I'm excited to see what Springfield Armory is coming out with. It's been a while. They have a couple prodigies out, but they haven't really done anything with that platform in a while. So hopefully for SHOT Show in 2027, there's a new prodigy, maybe something a little flashier, maybe something that looks a little different. Um, I don't know, maybe different colors. A company as big as Springfield Armory, they should really capitalize on the uh, double stack 2011, especially on more like the bargain side of the double stack 2011, and really go with it and evolve and change with the times. I mean, look at Kimber. The 2K11 is absolutely gorgeous. It's phenomenal. They have a bunch of versions. I'm assuming coming out. They gave me a hint today that they got something planned for a shot in 27. So I'm excited to see what they got. Even SIG. I mean, SIG is evolving with the times. The GTO is great. The GT5, the GT4. Dan, the firearm guy, just did a video review of the GT4, and I thought that was incredible. He compared it to a couple of really good guns. See what else? Guns coming out that I'm looking forward to. You know, I like full size steel aluminum grip guns. I think they're fantastic. I think they're easy to shoot. I really like bougie stuff, but I recently got to shoot that Dark Forge Armory 2011, and I'll go on record right now. That's the best. That is the absolute best gun I've ever shot in my life. Easily. Uh, it's effortless to shoot. There's almost zero recoil. It's ported in conch, but it's not loud. I don't know what kind of voodoo they used on that. It's just a really great, fantastic gun. $7,200. So it's super expensive. But if you're gonna buy once, cry once, that's the gun to get. I mean, I don't know how Dark Forge could make that gun any better. To me, it's perfection. It looks great. It shoots amazing. The trigger is amazing. I mean, everything on that gun is amazing, except the price. The price, I mean, is $7,200. That's a lot of money. God, that's a lot of money. I'll never be able to afford one. Yeah, no matter how many pairs of knee pads I wear out, they're not sending me one. So that's it for that. Let's see, Joe Morris. I want to get an integrally suppressed 1022 barrel fixed silencer, maybe the same Ruger MK2 upper barrel assembly. I tell you what, don't sleep on this company, but Whisper Chicks, which is the sister company of Whisper Strike, they actually sell an integrally suppressed 5.56. It's actually a really thin barrel and it's super long. Very cool gun. But hey, enough about that. Without further ado, let's add the gentleman to the show. I know I think he forgot a little bit about this, but I don't know. I won't give him too much grief. Let's see. Let's invite FocusTripp to the show. All right. Come on, add. Are you added? Let's try that again. Add to stage. There we go. There we
Hey,
go.
there I am. Yeah, my apologies. I heard you there. I completely forgot. And then I got a message after I get home from the range. I just get out of the shower and it's like, hey, you ready to go? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But I'm here. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me
I know.
on,
Hey,
sir.
man, it was kind of. I was stuck in traffic, and I didn't have my personal phone. I just had my work phone all day, and I was like, damn it, I don't know how to reach out. I didn't have your email, and then I don't put any personal information on my work phone, so I was SOL until I got home.
It's a wise idea for that. Keep them separate. Well, what's the
You have
topic of
to
discussion that
because
we got for tonight, sir?
what's that?
Oh, I said, what's the topic of discussion for tonight?
I thought we'd dig a little bit about what you're up to, but we have the elephant in the room is this whole suppressor deal. It's crazy.
100%. Well, I figured after that happened last night for the next month, it's going to be video after video, update after update. Everybody is going to be so inundated with suppressor and SBR updates that everybody's going to just hate it. They're going to hate their life. They're going to want to go back to when they were all banned and you couldn't even get them, right? They're going to want to go back to a 12-month waiting period. They're going to be
What?
so
I don't know
tired of
about that.
hearing everybody. Well, but you know what I mean? It's like all the big
Oh yeah,
accounts, anytime there's an update, because the ATF still has to update all the FFLs on guidance, right? So I know today I've gotten it 50-50 because I'm sure you're getting the same comments. One FFL will tell you to go pound sand. The other one is like, oh, yeah, no, we're ready to go. We'll get it done for you. And it's a cluster. Okay. It's a cluster of what is going on right now. So, I mean, I'm enjoying the chaos of it all. I think it's good for the American public as a whole. And I know that people are very excited about it. So I'm kind of looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
yeah. For me, it doesn't feel real because the 2A community doesn't. They really haven't had a win in a long time that feels like this impactful. So this is like I'm kind of in disbelief still. I thought for sure at midnight something
Mhm.
was going to happen, injunction or whatnot, and I'm like, no, nah, I don't believe it. And then today there's a few stores, especially in Houston, there's a couple stores that are actually selling suppressors with just the 4473 and calling it a day.
Yep. And that is totally fine as far as I'm aware. But you got to remember, yeah, it's going to be different where you are, what FFLs are updated, what FFLs are actually, paying attention. Your mom and pop shops who aren't online, who aren't following any of this stuff.
Yeah,
The funny thing is, I know that somebody somewhere is going to walk into a gun store and be like, hey, can I buy that suppressor? And no, I don't want to fill out the NFA paperwork. And they're going to be like, what are you talking about? And then they're going to be like, no, look, see on my phone, Brandon Herrera at midnight last night, he bought a suppressor without a Form 4. He
yeah.
literally ended the NFA. And they're going to be like, who? What? What are you talking about? You know that's going to be like 1,000 people's experience today at the different gun stores.
Oh yeah. I mean, gun store downtown. I think they sold like 90 something.
Well, as far as you said, a big win for the gun industry, it feels a lot more impactful than last year's big, beautiful bill because essentially this is what they wanted with the
Right.
big, beautiful bill. We wanted suppressors and SBRs and AOWs and SBSs completely off the NFA. But like, a $0 tax stamp, it's like, well, that's something, but it's not really what people want, right? They want the total win. And even now, it's not a total win because there's still an NFA that applies to some of these, like SBRs and SBSs. I think still need a Form 4 because of another act that they're tied
I think it's
into.
state by state.
Okay, yeah, because again, I'm not even sure because I don't even think everybody
I'm in
knows
Texas. I don't
how
know
it all
what state are
works.
you in.
I'm in South Dakota, so South Dakota doesn't have any state restrictions on any of this stuff.
Okay, well, Texas, I mean, yeehaw, we don't have any of that stuff. But
Yeah.
those bastards in California still ain't getting shit.
Yeah, well, exactly right. If a state has a law banning SBRs or suppressors, then this doesn't do anything to help you, unfortunately, right? And it's actually ironic in some states, suppressors and SBRs were allowed as long as you had a Form 4. But now that the Form 4 is not applicable, now they're actually screwed out of it unless the NFA is, or unless, sorry, the ATF is still processing Form 4s, right?
Ah, the irony of it.
Exactly. And I know there's a couple random people that happens to. So that is sorry, guys.
Yeah, but I think you're absolutely 100% correct. I mean, you're going to see all the usual YouTube commentators come out with daily videos. So I bet you twice a day. I mean, the views, it's a really hot topic. I mean, shit, if we cut out just this segment we're talking about here and post it, actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut this segment out and see what happens.
It'll
But
be a good clip. I mean, like I don't know if you saw it, but last night I was streaming on this right before it happened, and I think we peaked at over 1,400 live on YouTube, which is
wow.
a really big stream for me. It's a huge stream for me. So yeah, no, people are interested in it. There's a lot of attention on all of this, and I think that suppressor companies are going to be eating good. You know, every other gun company might be damaged by the Trump slump 2.0, but I think suppressor companies, one, we're going to see another 500 pop up in the next couple of years. And I think they're going to double or triple their sales numbers this year. They'll be the only gun companies doing money hand over foot, basically, or hand over fist.
I
And
feel
which is
sorry
why
for the
you
ones that aren't selling through silent shop. Because
well,
that's kind of that's another way to
yeah.
get a little better, I guess.
I wonder how that does. Is that how that works though? Because do you have to be silencer shop and GOA? Because I saw Palmetto State Armory's video on this today, and they were essentially saying that if you walk into one of their stores in South Carolina, because they have, physical locations, they will sell you suppressors without a Form 4.
Hmm.
I think they put that video out either this morning or last night.
I think wasn't PSA part of the
Yes,
people
PSA
that
is part
sued
of
them?
it. There's a few of them. It's Silencer Shop, PSA, B&T, I want to say.
Yeah, BNT and
And
GOA.
yeah. So there, and plus 15 states are tied to it as well. Though I think from what I've heard, the states are only for their LE agencies, not for the citizens of the states. So I don't know how that works because like South Dakota was part of the injunction, but not on behalf of citizenry, only on behalf of the LE agencies. So I don't. Again, there's lots of stuff that I have no idea how it works. I believe he just dropped from the call, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go check on YouTube. I have no idea how many people are here right now, but I hope you're all doing well. Happy to be here on Smash Time. Let me pull that up real fast because I think he just dropped out. His internet connection did seem to be a little bit subpar. Yep, he's definitely live. There's 10 of you in here right now. Hope you're all doing well. Click on this over here. There I am. I see my beautiful face. Okay. Yep, we're definitely live. He dropped out though. Hit the like button while you're here. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he is gone for the moment. I guess I'll entertain you guys. Well, so in my interview with Andrew of Otter Creek Labs last year in 2025, I think they said they did about 1,000 suppressors a week, which would be, 50,000 a year, roughly speaking. Now that the restriction on the NFA price tag got removed, right? So no $200 tax stamp. He said they were on pace to do 80,000 suppressors in 2026. So I think that estimate could go even higher. I think it could hit 100,000 suppressors, provided they're able to keep up on the manufacturing side of things. Because, 2,000 suppressors a week is insane. Armored Ghost says sensor tube suppressed Smash. Yeah, I think it was his internet because his internet was coming in really pixelated for me. So I'm not sure if it was coming in the same for everyone else. But it was quite pixelated for me. So I think his internet might have crashed. But here I am in control. Patriots in control of the stream. Oh, actually, there he is. I think he's back now.
There we go.
Man,
that was weird. It just totally disconnected. That's only happened once before, and that's when I touched a gun about 2 years ago.
No, it's not that. I think it was your internet connection because for me, anyways, you were like super pixelated.
Oh no.
Yeah, like even now you're freezing a little bit. Am I coming through okay? Is it our connection? Is it StreamYards?
I can see you just fine. Everything's going good. That's so odd.
Interesting. This is why you shouldn't use Comcast. Yeah, I don't know about that. Fortunately, that's actually ironic. Since I'm here in South Dakota, the only option that we have out here is fiber.
Oh, well, I usually have a nice Sony cam set up, but I just put a new video card in, and one of the drivers isn't working. And I tried to juice up my aging computer so I could start, editing 8K and 6K video. And it's editing well, but there's something wrong where my cam link isn't working. So I got to figure something out.
Yep. Well, I mean, sorry, I completely lost my train of thought there. Video cards. Yeah, I just updated my video card as well, and I've been having crashes, and I had to miss a stream as well because my computer just completely blue screened like right before, and I had to like replace a bad drive. Whole nightmare scenarios. That's why I stopped working on computers anymore. It's
Well,
just
man, the
too much
evolution of
time
your
and energy.
channel lately has been pretty bonkers. I mean, you've gone pretty hard in the paint a little bit, a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
know, it
I
depends on what
almost
we're
go
talking
to my
about.
head, do me next.
Well, oh, in terms of like who we cover, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
because
you just
it's
got to go
for
out there. You
one,
got to
I'm like,
manufacture. Isaac Botkin, what was it? No, it was Lucas Botkin. Lucas Botkin told me I got to go out there and manufacture my own drama. Okay, so I got to go
Lucas is
out
a
there and
dick.
just start it. I just got to
I'm
like
not a big fan of
pick a
Lucas
fight with
Buckin.
anyone. You don't like Lucas?
You know, I had shot. I went up to him to say hi, and he totally did it. Just diss me.
Really? He was too cool to play. That's crazy.
I
Is
know
he?
because I
Was he
was
like?
talking
I don't know
to.
you. Get away from me.
No, I was talking to Gun. I was talking to Guns Out TV. You
Uh huh.
know, and just trying to talk about Staccato Ranch and all that. We'll get to that in a minute. That's a fun topic.
Indeed.
And then Lucas was with a girl and two other guys. I think one was his brother. This is back before the drama
Oh,
in
okay.
24.
Hmm.
And I walked up, and then he looked at me, and he just did a about face. I was like, oh shit, never mind. Sorry. I
Well,
hit a pretty hard
did you
diss. I
try
was
and
like,
say
damn,
hi,
that's
or was
messed
it
up.
just the side of you?
I think he saw the reflection of my head, and he was just, oh my god, I can't deal with this guy.
Got blinded by the aura, the bald man aura. Okay,
Well, what I
maybe he
want, I
couldn't
just want
handle
to
it.
say, hey man, I like your content. Just I for someone that's never been in the military and has just regular everyday Joe training, the guy's
Mm-hmm.
a shooter, man. He can shoot the
100%.
lights out.
Heck yeah, for
But
sure. Yeah.
yeah, so I remember you did Tacticon armament. That was
That was a while. Listen, okay. That video, I didn't do too well in our actual debate, but in terms of who laughs last, I think I got the last laugh on that one because yeah, in case you haven't noticed, they ain't around no more.
yeah. I think you helped with that
Oh yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
a little
I
bit.
did,
Because it's funny.
I
I
certainly
actually,
didn't.
after that one, I'm sitting here looking. I have like 9 of their tourniquets sitting right here. They had sent me. I'm like, so I
Hey, you
went out
know
in the
what? Okay,
backyard.
I
I
think
couldn't
to
get
be
him to break.
fair, do you know Buffman Range?
No.
Okay, well, he did a long-term test. I want to say it was a year. So he put 3 different tourniquets, a fake tourniquet, a Tacticon tourniquet, and a real cat, North American Rescue tourniquet out on something like a log or something outside. He torqued them all down and then just left them there for a full year. And the Taxicon tourniquet held up better than the fake ones, but not quite as good as like a real cat, like North American rescue tourniquet, like the the $30 ones, basically. So again, from everything I've heard, the ones that Tacticon were selling later on actually did end up performing pretty good, if not quite as good as the real thing. You know,
Yeah.
so better than the fake Amazon one because I have like fake Amazon ones laying around here somewhere, and they're just bendy bill terrible. You should not use those. So the Tacticon one, I'll give them that. They are better than the super cheap, Temu, Wish.com special tourniquets. But when it comes to my life, like I'll spend the $30. I'll just
Yeah.
do that.
It's a terrible time to chintz out.
Well, and I would if you I don't know if it was an expensive piece of kit, like I could get it. Like not everybody's putting a Trigicon SRO on all 12 of their handguns. Totally get it.
Actually,
100%.
the guy that just jumped in the chat, C6 Ladez, that's the only one he uses, and he has like 50 handguns.
Okay, well, fine.
So
Other than
everybody
him,
except that guy.
other than him, I don't care if on somebody's 12th gun they have Sileys or CV lives or whatever else it might be, because I use cheap dots. Like spoiler alert, I use cheap dots as well. But when it's only
Yeah, because when
$30,
you
like
first started your
everybody's
channel,
got
you did a lot
$30.
of red dot reviews.
Yeah, most of my reviews are now pushed over to the Gun Dot Deals channel, but I actually just got, where are they? They're somewhere, they're hiding from me. I just got a whole pack of red dots in that I got to do videos on. So they will eventually be over on the Gun Dot Deals channel
And, I
at
tell
some point
people
in the
that
future.
all the time. It's like, look, I love a good Trigicon. I like Meprolite. I think they're great. I like Viridian, but I'm not going to spend all that money on a gun I just shoot at the range. If I'm going to depend with my life and train with it, yeah, I'm going to spend the money for a really good optic. But if it's just a range toy, siley all day, man. It's there. There's a, and if it goes down at the range, who gives a shit?
Correct. Yeah. And I mean, it really depends on who you are too. Like if you're just a hobbyist and you're
Right.
not a high end level competitor where if your dot goes down in the middle of the match, you're out a bunch of money, your sponsorship or whatever else it might be. And if it's not your daily carry piece, like to me it doesn't matter, right? It's kind of tertiary, secondary, quaternary even, you know? But it is when it's something that I'm going to be using either for competition, right? Because that's the one thing is like I need my competition gun to actually do what it needs to do. And if it's on my carry gun. Now, even for
Right.
me, like I ironically, I think Holosun might be better than Trijicon in a lot of ways. Like a lot of their modern offerings are very solid, very feature packed, great value. And Trigicon, the one thing I dislike about them is, well, one, they're expensive. But the thing that I actually dislike about them the most is that they just don't innovate very much. You know, it's like the most
Right.
modern red dots that they came out with are the RMR HD, not a fan of the
It's
Trigicon
super
RCR.
overpriced.
Yeah, well, it's terribly overpriced. It's barely better than the original RMR and the RCR, which I think is a fine red dot. But it's like, what did they announce this year at SHOT Show? A green dot. That's it. They announced a
Whoa,
green dot
innovators.
variant. Yeah, exactly.
So
It's like, oh,
my
that's
crook
exciting.
against Trigicon, like I'm sure you bought an O sight before.
I have some around here somewhere.
So when you get an O sight and you open it, it's like you're opening an iPhone. It's amazing. The presentation is phenomenal. They give you screws. It unopens like a book. It's just O sight is an incredible value. And I actually, you know what? I bought a couple with my own dime because they sent me two, and I bought three more because it's not a bad optic. Uh, but you open a Trigicon, it doesn't even have a bag. It's just here's your sight, stupid, and it's just sitting in a box with some foamy. Like here, thanks for your money, sucker.
That is one thing that I hate because if you're gonna sell me something like a red dot
An experience.
that has to be mounted to a gun, you have to allow me to do that with the stuff that you send. And yeah, like you said, O-side is like, hey, what type of screws do you want? We sent you 20 different types in the
Yeah,
box with
right.
spares. It's like, all right, fair enough. You want adapter plates? Here's adapter plates. Everything is just in the box. So, and the, instruction manual. So if you've never done it before, if you're a pro, you should be able to figure it out. They got size charts, they got all the things that you would want. Um, and I've heard it described like Hollow Sun 5 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, didn't quite have the track record that they do now. And O-Sight is kind of in the position that Hollow Sun was like 5 or 6 years ago, I would say, where they're undercutting Hollow Sun. They're a
Right.
little bit cheaper. They're offering essentially the same feature set, right? Some wacky features, like I don't care about the charging cover thing on their
Oh, on the
O-Sight.
first generation, yeah,
Yeah, on
that's a
the first,
little
like, I didn't really care about
kooky.
that one. I had one. It worked like okay. It wasn't like the worst thing ever, but it worked okay. Um, but I think that their modern offerings are up to par for the price. Like you said, it's a good value offering. And so if I have them on a gun that I don't particularly care about, it's like, it's fine. It works. It works well enough to do what I needed to do.
Yeah. So what's your okay? So let's just check the chat real quick. We have Jesus in here. Armored Ghost, what's up? Traveler 1970, what's going on, buddy? Critical Critic says focus. Joe Morris, C6, it's my buddy. Uh, he goes, here we go, but you're wrong. It's both Trigicon SRO and the Acro P2. Just
Ooh,
got the green dot. I have to agree with everything he said. The Holosun Pro Max is awesome. Just got one as well.
that's the one I need to pick up. I do not have a Pro Max
That's
yet.
the one with the really big window.
So they have the Pro Max and the Pro Max Slim. So the Pro Max Slim is the same thing. no solar, and really slim bezels. Like the SRO has really slim bezels, really thin bezels, right?
Yeah.
So it's not very obstructive. So the Pro Max is a huge window with a huge housing. So it's kind of obtuse, intrusive.
Mm,
The Pro Max Slim, which at least it's not an acronym, but that is a mouthful. That's kind of the one that I want to get.
yeah. What's your opinion on Repro Light? Have you used any of theirs?
I have not used any of their stuff. I've seen videos on them. Most of the stuff that I paid attention to is like their glass because I know that they were selling a like a German made 1 to 8, 1 to 10 for like $1,500. And it was a
Mm,
clone of another model. And there was some drama there that they were essentially upcharging the same exact thing by like 50%. So it's
maybe.
one of those things where I haven't tried any of their stuff, but I've heard decent things from them. Not a lot of people I know shoot them.
I tell you what, I have their pistol red dot, and that thing, or green dot, and that thing is an absolute tank. It looks like you could literally run over it with a tank, and it's going to be totally fine. It's super robust, great optics, super crisp dot. I mean, really crisp, even all the way down to like like the littlest setting. I mean, you can really. I mean, it's just a sharp dot. Something
Mhm.
you don't get with like a Siley or something budget.
Right.
So let's talk about Staccato.
My favorite company to talk about.
You know what? I always kind of thought they were a little overrated, but man,
Mhm.
they're. I think the Sig P320 said, "Here, hold my beer. Let me." Staccato was like, "Yeah, let's." You think Sig has a bad rep right now?
Take the heat off a little bit. That's right.
Yeah, I mean it's
They're
brutal.
trading places. Well, so my take on the whole staccato thing as a handgun. I know a couple shooters that I like and I hang out with that shoot staccatos. One of the GMs with that I compete with, Logan, he runs staccatos. He has a couple of staccato Ps. I've shot his staccato Ps. I think they're overpriced for what they are. You
Mm,
know, they used to, I would say like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, like they're one of the only games in town for like a production level 2011 that just works. Cause I will give them that outside of your usual lemons or issues or whatever else it might be. They do tend to work. They do tend to do the thing, but they don't shoot well enough and their price isn't good enough for me to be enticed by them. It's like I think Shadow 2s for one half the cost, literally as shoot better, honestly, in a lot of
yeah,
ways, especially for what the type of shooting that I do, than a staccato. So for me, it's a no brainer. Now, as far as what they're actually supposedly good at is for their new HDs, right? So they're targeting like LE agencies and police and all these other guys. And I think if you go to their website, I checked like 2 days ago, it said that they have 180 plus departments that have staccato contracts. So I mean, it appears to be doing some numbers in terms of LE, which is crazy to think that LE agencies are spending 2.5 to 3K on pistols for each one of their officers. But our tax dollars at work, I suppose.
yeah, and I forget some YouTuber was saying today that their gen with the Glock mags isn't selling as well as they thought it was going to sell.
I think Ben said that,
Oh, Ben
but
Stoger, yeah, yeah, or
Ben
Ben,
Ben said that, but again, I
yeah,
don't know if that's actually true. I know they just allegedly laid off like 10% of their staff, but
60
that
people,
could
yeah,
yeah, or 20% of their staff because I think they had 300 employees and they laid off 60
yeah,
people. So yeah, 20% of their staff. But that could also just be like post launch, because gaming companies will do this, right? Where they hire a bunch of people, they work really hard, and then once the game is actually out, then they lay people off because they no longer need them. So Staccato just had a bunch of releases with the Staccato P4X, I want to say, right? So they were probably ramping up production numbers for, yeah, the new HD line, the new P4X. And then
mm,
after it comes out, well, now you don't need all that shop staff anymore. So you can lay a bunch of them off. So I'm not sure if it's really that their numbers haven't been doing well because they should be making a crap ton of money. talking with dealers who have to deal with these people, like some of the biggest dealers in the country for them, that ironically just had their program pulled, like their margins that they're allowed to sell used to be 20%, and then it came down to 10%.
That's
So
brutal.
it's I don't even know as a dealer why you would carry them at that point.
So
If
for a
you're
production 2011, it should be priced around. Yeah, I think they could knock off 30% on those guns, and then they would be more competitive. But with Sig and Kimber coming out
well,
pretty
you say
aggressive with
that
their
right.
production guns.
Kimber offers a lot of extra features and performance for the same cost, or like the basic models are about 30% cheaper.
Yeah.
Just like you say, like on paper, the P211, right? Aluminum grip, steel framed, island barrel, whether it's a comp or a monoblock, for the same cost as a Staccato P. And you're getting a more expensive feeling gun, anyways. I know people who shoot the P211s and love them, right?
Yeah.
And if I had to shoot a pick one for $2,500, I can get a Kimber 2K11 Pro, which is like their nicer version, or I can go with a Staccato P, which I think is boring, or a P211. And I would look at the other two options before I looked at a Staccato P. And if Kimber is able to make money at selling them for like $1,600 new for a 2K11, then Staccato can't be that bad at manufacturing that they're spending an extra $800 on manufacturing. Like, that seems insane to me. They have to be making money.
Oh yeah, they're making a lot of money. I mean, something's keeping the lights on. Something's paying for that SHOT Show booth. But
dude, true.
It's fun. I'm sure you've seen it too. So Staccato, and for some reason, Staccato for sure. That is the only booth at SHOT that's just mobbed nonstop for all 4 days.
Yeah, even more than the Glock booth, 100%. Because
and Shadow Systems too. For some reason, Shadow Systems is absolutely mobbed. But here, what's funny about Shadow Systems? If you go into a store, I don't know any stores that really carry them. And when they do have them, nobody really buys them. But at SHOT, I mean, people are jammed in there to look at these guns.
You're right. I should hate on Shadow Systems a lot more, because every time I go into Shields, which is like the big gun store in town, even though there's like Gary's Gun Shop and a few other ones here in South Dakota, they have like racks of Shadow Systems, and I never see them move, like, ever. And I don't understand why you would buy one. It's like 20 to 50% more expensive than a Glock. And I don't personally get the appeal. I've never shot a Shadow Systems that I liked. But at our stores, we have racks of Sig 211s, whether it's the GT4, GT5, P211. Staccato has a full rack. Kimber has a full rack, and the Kimber seem to move more than both of those. I wouldn't say combined, but they seem to be selling a lot of those, right, for the price.
The Kimber looks. I like the Sig better. I think it shoots a tiny bit better, but the Sig, the Kimber is gorgeous, man. It's such a pretty gun.
Yeah, and the price tag is really hard to beat if you're looking into an American-made 2011. Outside of like the LFA stuff, which I don't have any experience with, I think the Kimbers are the cheapest 2011 on the market, especially if you get the Warrior models. Because aren't the Warrior models like $1,100 or something? They're like,
so I have the 10mm 6-inch Warrior, and that thing is an absolute tank at 10 mil. And actually, I sent it up to Cossaint Firearms, and it's getting a tri-top slide cut, and it's getting it's called a V12 port.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it should be pretty. It was already a great shooter, so it should be a lot better now. I should get that back next week.
Cool. Yeah. No, that sounds like a fun gun, especially 10 mil. Or can you run 40 in those, or is that just like a Glock thing?
No, you can. It's they say not to do it, but you can do it.
Yeah. Because if you can get 40 for like 30 cents a round, that's got to be a lot cheaper than sending full bore 10 mil down it all the time.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's talk about the direction of the FocusTripp channel. Because it seems like, honestly, I sit as a sideline. I love the content, the going hard in the paint, hilarious. The Mr. Guns and Gear, hilarious. Or no, it wasn't Guns and Gear. It was the Tactical Toolbox.
Oh yes, Tactical Toolbox. You got to
That
mix
is,
up. How
that guy
dare
is
you? How
really
dare you slight
sharp.
Mr. Guns and Gear like that?
No, I like Mike. Mike's a big conspiracy nut, though. Have you ever talked to him in person?
Yes, I did meet him. He was with it was a couple years ago at the gathering. Him and Gerald were together from Louder with Crowder.
Yeah.
So I got to meet and chat with him there. Very nice guy. Talked me up to Gerald, which is nice. So I also like Mr. Guns and Gear. And I know he's a conspiracy theorist guy, which
Oh,
I
he's so
like. I think that
hardcore.
stuff is fun.
Like, I mean, you just want to say, "Hey, you want to talk about Build-A-Burger or anything?" And he's like, "What?" And he knows all of it,
Mhm.
all of it. But Toolbox is funny too because I just sat there going, "This is too good, man." I must have watched that video a couple times. It was really good. It was funny. Don't beg for
Well,
money.
I appreciate it. I mean, that situation, it's one of those things where you just listen to what people say and you strip away the music and kind of the facade. And it's like, you somehow racked up $500,000 in IRS debt, which means that you made what, 1.5, $2 million
Quite a bit of money.
that you did not pay taxes on. You own probably a six-figure gun collection and like 4 or 5 vehicles that you could sell to satisfy your debt, but instead you're asking your audience to satisfy your debt to the IRS, which is like, it just seems weird, right? It seems like the OnlyFans chick who's like, my fans, I forgot to report my earnings for the last 3 years, and now I owe a lot of money to Big Daddy government. So could you guys help me out and simp even harder for me? It's like, I
Yeah.
don't.
Plus, he makes most of his money off affiliate links. I will give him credit. Jonathan is an incredible upseller when you watch his videos because he's very nonchalant about it. Well, I just talk about it, and there's links down in the description, whatever.
Mhm.
Just check it out. He crushes it on his affiliate stuff, but
Well, I
it's
mean,
funny.
to be fair to these people that do the affiliate link stuff, I do wish that YouTube didn't suck for affiliate links, right? If
Yeah,
people could use them more effectively, it would be better for business, right? 100%. So like,
yeah,
if people who want to push affiliate links were able to do that without getting their PP slapped by YouTube, I think that would be better in general. But to me, it's like, I just don't like the aspect of like asking your audience essentially to bail you out of your bad financial situation. It's like, I don't
his
know.
video. I don't think he thought that through too well.
Yeah, but it's the music too. He's got to be sitting there editing it. He adds in the sad, somber music, and it's like, it's just a little over the top. It's a little
Yeah, I was expecting
silly.
a crying baby in the background any minute.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna bring his
Well,
family out in rags and be like, "We haven't eaten in 6 days," while his Corvette's hiding in the garage or whatnot. And I'm just like, I don't know. And I mean, like, I've had run-ins with the IRS as well, like back in the day, and it was not that complicated to get solved and to get it sorted and pay a fine and be done with it all. So, I mean, maybe his situation is obviously a lot more money than mine ever was. Mine was like $900, or well, it was $30,000, but it ended up being like a $900 disagreement. So it was like nothing. But still, I mean, there's got to be a way to settle that without airing it out publicly and essentially begging for money.
yeah, mine was I was 21 and a buddy of mine got all this money back from the IRS. And I'm like, "How did you do that?" He goes, "Oh, you got to go to this guy." So I went to that guy and I got a bunch of money back, like $4,000 that I shouldn't have gotten. And so I got a call from the IRS and they're like, "Oh, you need to come down in downtown LA. You go to the IRS building." And this lady's very polite. She goes, "Hello, this is what you owe. You have 6 months to pay it. Have a nice day." And I go, "Well, do you have like a payment plan?" She goes, "You have 6 months of payment. Have a nice day." So she goes, "You will go to jail 6 months. Have a nice day." Yes, ma'am. I paid it in 6 months. I beans and riced it and I paid it off, but
Did you
the
have to pay
IRS
the whole
scares
full
me. So
4,000 back, or was it a different amount plus penalties?
no, because it said I had some dependents that didn't exist. And the guy, I mean, it was a shady place. And it
Right.
was
Yeah. That's old Fred, who's known for ripping off the
yeah,
IRS,
it
and that's
was,
and you
I
pay
was
the.
young and stupid. And I saw my friend buy new stuff for his car, and here I am
Mhm.
struggling. I usually get like $100 back, and he just got 4,500. I think I got 6,000 back, and I was like, "This is incredible." And then I paid
Yeah,
all that back plus another 2 grand. It's
Well,
terrible.
that's the danger, right? Where you're like, especially if you do your own taxes, if you do, have you ever used TurboTax? So
Once,
it'll show you
once.
the number in the top right. So if you add an extra zero somewhere, that number just goes into the stratosphere, and you're like, oh, I'm getting that much money back. That's insane. If I just fudge one number here, you know. But then
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, then the bill comes due with the IRS. And spoiler alert, there's two people that you don't want to get into a tussle with. It's the IRS and the ATF.
Yeah. And then if you think about how AI is getting into it, I mean, you're not gonna be able to hide anything. They'll be able to go through everyone's record like that.
Yeah, but part of me is like, shouldn't they just be telling me what I owe at that point? Do I really have to fill all this stupid crap in? Can't you just like you already know? Like every transaction I've ever made has been tracked by someone somewhere. Like
100%. What about just a
surely you
nice
can just
flat
tell me.
tax?
That would be too simple though, right? I wish we could just do a flat 10% tax, everybody. That's
Just
it.
be done with it.
I mean, preferably lower, of course, but I mean, just something where I don't have to think about it very much.
All right, let's see who's in the chat here. We got Boss Hog. What's up, man? Putano, what's going on? Critical Critic says, yeah, they are overpriced. C6 says the XC put them on the map. Going back to the staccato conversation. Joe Morris got a Clackamas Kimber Series 1 brown slide. I have no idea what that is. I think Joe's.
Clackamas, it's a county in Washington State. That's what I know. I don't know if it's named after that, but
No kidding.
yeah.
Mark Highwayman, back one time life, filed in taxes for 3 years, call tax man and set up low payment monthly plan. Easy. Yeah, I mean, I know someone right now that hasn't paid their taxes in a few years, and they're actually going to go meet with somebody pretty soon. But it can get away with you. It can be dangerous. I think during COVID, a lot of people were struggling, and they just decided not to pay taxes.
Yeah, or misrepresent how much they were getting, because that was back when people were getting what, like $500 a week, was it? For
Oh, the
some
COVID
people,
relief.
right? Because weren't there some people that were getting like a month or a weekly check or something like that?
There
And
was
did that
some
ever
kind of
have to get
check. I
paid
think
back?
it. I think it went off your last year's taxes or something. They sent you like a couple grand or something.
Well, not just the one-time payment, but there were people. Was it the extended unemployment benefits? Or
Maybe.
there was something on there where for like a year people got weekly payments. I think it
Oh,
was unemployment.
I fell under that. I got laid off during 9/11, and I fell under
Okay.
that. It
Yeah.
was a similar thing, and I was traveling the country, having the time of my life, and I should have
There
been
you
looking
go.
for a job. And then I realized 6 months later I had to get a job, and I had this huge gap on my record. And
Yeah.
I
Well,
was telling
that's what
the,
happes with free money, right? You get free
I
money,
know
you go
someone's got to
wild with
pay
it. You
for it, and
don't
then
value it the same way when you don't work for it.
I remember, I told the temp agency that my grandma was sick, and I had to take care of her. That's why. That's all I got, man.
There
That's
you
all
go.
I got.
Just,
I
hey,
made a
that's
lot of
something work.
mistakes when I was younger. This is what 20 years ago. 25. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, dude, it is 25 years. It's about to be 25th anniversary, yeah. It's
Yeah.
tragic.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
So let me
time
ask you a
flies.
question. Let's do the usual gun stuff. So what's your EDC? What do you carry?
Oh shoot. Well, right now it's actually an RXM full size. It's going to be, the Ruger Glock clone thingamajig. That's temporary though. Okay, it's a little too big, but it's going to be the new CZP10C, the ported version. But I need a new holster for it, and I need a new light for it as well, because the TLR7A I have is the wrong version for it or something like that. So I need to get a new light and holster for that, and that will be my new carry once that all
A
comes in.
CZP10C.
Yes, sir.
So that one of the worst guns I ever got was the P10F, the competition one.
I've heard the same thing. I know another guy who had the competition model and hated that thing.
I hated it. It didn't shoot worth a shit. It was beautiful. It had a gold barrel on it and a gold
Right, yeah,
trigger. It was cool
the gold
looking.
accents on it. Mm-hmm.
I ended up selling it to Dan, the firearm guy, for like $200.
Damn.
I hated it. I was going to throw it away. He goes, you give it to me, I make it work. I make it reliable. And so I sent it to him, and he can't get it to work. So now his buddy has it, and they're fighting with it. And it's just the gun is just a dud. It does not work.
It just won't run. Interesting. Yeah, no, the CZP10C, the ported version that I'm carrying, or that I'm going to be carrying very soon, Love that gun. Shoots great. I put like 2,000 rounds through it so far. Shoots great. Shoots like a full size gun. It's got a heavy barrel in it. Ported, of course. And I mean, it's smaller, it's lighter, and it does the thing that I wanted to do. So I mean, I'm
Yeah, and everyone kept
happy
telling
with
me,
that.
"Oh, CZ, the P10 series is amazing," and I'm like, "Oh, I was at a gun show, and I saw this guy had 2 or 3 brand new ones, brand new in the box, like priced right. I think I paid 7 and change for it.
Hmm.
Great, came with 3 mags, great gun. First mag went down, and then every 5 or 6 shots it would jam up, jam, jam, jam. Cleaned it, jam. Then the trigger would stick. I'd pull the trigger back, and it would just stick. It wouldn't reset, and I'm like, "Oh, this is not good."
That's
And
dangerous.
then
Yeah.
I didn't want to mess with it. And then Dan was like, "I'll do it." I'm like, "Here." I sent it to him, and he was having the same problem because
That's
he's a
smart though.
huge
Always pawn off
P10
the
fan.
lemons on friends, okay? Make it
I
somebody
told him
else's
it
problem.
sucked, and he goes, "You just don't know what you're doing." I'm like, all
Right.
right, you can mess with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way I am with stuff like that anymore. If I'm going to be doing anything with it, if it's finicky in any way, then it's just gone. Like it's just going to be gone. It's going to get trashed in a video and then it's going to be sold. Like that's it for me.
There's no gun in my safe that's not 1,000% reliable. I will not have it. It's gone.
Mhm.
If it doesn't shoot 100%, I don't want it.
Right. Yeah.
And
No,
that's also
100%.
like those custom 2011 builders that are cropping up. They're everywhere now.
I like
And
Fowler.
they're like, "Oh, well, you need a break-in period at the 100, 200 rounds." Really? Tell that to Atlas. I mean, shit,
Yeah.
staccato. You don't need a break-in period with staccato. It runs. It goes bang every time. Masterpiece arms goes bang every. We were talking about prices. For a couple extra bucks, around the $3,000 range, you can get a really nice MPA double
I
stack
I like the
DS9.
MPA series. I have a buddy who competes with an MPA and great
They
gun.
just came out with a new one.
Just in terms of quality, they feel so much nicer too than a staccato, right? And
Oh,
for being in
yeah.
the same price category, it feels like that shouldn't be the case.
Well, not only that is when you get an MPA, it just looks like it's quality. It's flawless. Usually the finish is flawless. The cuts, there's no real sharp edges. I mean, it's just a really good, and they have a hyper aggressive grip I like too. That
Yeah.
is literally a cheese grater, and I love it. That's my favorite grip. But they just came out with a new gun. I just saw it popped up on my feed a couple days ago. MPA has a new DS9. I forget what they call it, but it looks gorgeous, really nice. They upped the price a little bit, but
Is that the sight block version?
I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Now you got me guessing.
Well, because I'm scrolling right now, so I went onto their website because I know my buddy has the sight block version. I don't know if it's the DS9 hybrid thingamajig, but I always forget these
The
guys' naming
Apex.
conventions because the Apex one. Okay, I see it on there.
All right here. Ooh, they upped their price quite a bit. But look at the slide. You know how long it takes to machine a slide like that? I mean, that takes a lot of time.
Well, and they got the steel grips too, the steel frames on them.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Ooh,
they're
that's
they're all
nice.
machined rather than injection molded polymer or whatever it is. So I mean, that's that's the one thing about 2011s. If I'm going to be spending, significantly more than a Shadow 2 or a Smith and Wesson steel frame or a Walther steel frame, then I want metal in my hands. I don't
100%.
want a polymer grip. So like Kimber is a really good deal in comparison to Staccato, but if I'm gonna be spending, north of 2K, then I might as well get something that has an aluminum or steel grip on it. Because I don't know, there's something about holding plastic in my hands that just feels cheap. Especially when it's lightweight. Like I prefer a heavier gun, so something like the MPAs with their steel grips or their aluminum grips, I think are a way better shooting experience. And if you're already spending a lot of money,
100%.
just get the one you want.
And honestly, too, you got to think about your kids and the generations after. You're not going to hand down a Glock to your great grandchildren. Who gives a shit about a polymer gun?
I mean, hey,
You
you
want something
might,
that's going to
they're
have,
not like an heirloom. None of your kids are going to be fighting over the Glock, okay? But they,
yeah,
they can still get it,
yeah. It's you can still 3D print one. It's not a brain buster, but I got to shoot the Dark Forge Reaper.
Mhm.
Mike in the comments, C6 Lidez, he picked one up, and we put a couple mags through it, and There's nothing I've ever shot in my life that can touch that gun.
Really?
Crushes. It crushes all. The recoil is, I mean, it's, and I've been able to shoot every variation of the aliens, all the Atlases, all the top end 2011s, but that Reaper beats everything out. All of
Interesting.
it.
Did you have the comped or the normal version?
The comped, the Wrath is the non-comped. The Reaper
Okay.
is the comped. It's comped and ported.
What do those compare to in terms of like Atlas or Infinity for price tag?
It's more.
Oh,
Well,
it's more. Okay.
Infinity. Look. I've shot a bunch of Infinities. They're terrible guns. I don't. We went
Whoa. All
shooting.
right. All right.
No, so check this out. So me and Mike, the C6, we were at the range. This guy brought a couple Infinities. He had he had an Infinity. He had a Staccato, and he also had a. God dang it! It's escaping me. Anyway, we were so excited to shoot the Infinity, and we shot
Mhm.
it, and it was terrible. It was the worst. Oh, he had a Voodoo Priest. The Voodoo Priest shot lights out, and that's still an underrated gun at an underrated price point. The Voodoo Priest, incredible gun, but I've had the opportunity to shoot a couple Infinities, and they've all been real
Never
big
impressed.
disappointments. According to their price point, they should shoot a lot better. The Reaper comes in at $7,200, which is a kick in the stomach. I mean, that's the
Sure.
Atlas
A lot of
Urbis
money.
price
Hmm.
point, and it's the best gun I've ever shot in my life. Shafts, not it's for a comp ported gun. It's super quiet, soft shooting. I don't know.
Very
It's just,
interesting.
that's something that if you have that gun in your safe, you would never take another gun out to shoot. Why? Why would you downgrade your day at the range for fun?
Well,
It's,
geez, you're selling me on it already.
I'm telling you, I got to shoot one at an outdoor range too. And that was the first time I ever shot the gun. And I was shooting plates at 40 yards. Ding, 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 ding. Easy. I mean, 6-inch steel plates. Just it was so easy.
Heck yeah.
It was
Have
incredible. I
you
felt like I was a better shooter. You
right
gotta
one of those
shoot one,
guns where
man.
it kind of
It'll blow
shows
you
you what
away.
you're capable of?
You're gonna be so blown away. You're gonna be, and it doesn't make sense how good that gun shoots. And they're hooked up with Atlas somehow too. I think they make parts for them, but
Okay.
whatever
Interesting.
they did, they got the magic sauce.
Now, have you gotten the chance to play around with one of the ironically kind of a Glock clone, the Waltz 9?
No,
The Zermatt. So it's like that's another weird one that maybe you should take a look at because it's the island barrel. They have a comped version and just a block version of it as well. That gun
really.
to me still is probably the softest shooting gun that I've ever shot. It has like a weird roller delay plus tilting barrel action thing going on. Takes Glock magazines. It's made by a precision rifle company, Zermatt. They make like high end
Oh yeah, yeah.
actions for PRS guys and stuff like that. That was at SHOT Show this year. If you didn't get a chance to take a look at it, but they allow some of the local shooters to run around with their handguns. And plus, I got to go down to Zermatt with Joel Park and go shoot their guns down there. They loaded up like 2,000 rounds for me to just shoot through the Zermatt, which was a really cool experience. To go down there and just have them loading mags for me, and I could just shoot as much as I want. But that's probably one of the best shooting guns that I've ever, best shooting handgun, anyways, that I've ever shot. So those
Oh
are, I
man,
think they're coming in at like $4,900. So it's close to that like custom 2011 territory, but maybe like a little bit under, Atlas and some of the other top end guys. But that one there is one of the pistols where I'm like, when that comes out, because I think they're still prototyping, pre development right now. But when that comes out, that's probably something I'm gonna pick up.
really?
Yeah,
The Waltz 9. I'm gonna check it out.
yeah.
All right,
I
let's
have,
see.
it's funny. I went and shot it like 6 months ago. I have all of this footage of it, like thousands and thousands of rounds, but I just haven't actually edited it together in a video yet. I need to just do that. I've been lazy. I've been busy. Okay.
You know what's funny?
Mm.
Don't take this the wrong way, but do you ever watch God, what's that show with Joe Rogan?
Fear Factor?
No, not Fear Factor. Where Joe Rogan's friend that does the comedy show on the road?
There's too many of his friends are comedians.
No,
Yeah.
it's just the guy that's really into wrestling. What's his name? can't think of his name.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I know Joe Rogan and I know some of his friends, obviously, but wrestling, I don't know.
He has his own, the Kill Tony. Oh, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh, okay. Well, Tony Hinchcliffe, doesn't he perform in Austin? Like he has a club there with Joe Rogan. It's the part of the mothership or something where he does his show, right?
Well, he does it there most of the time, but he takes it on the road. But I've been in the mothership a few times. That's a really cool club. It's
Mm.
really nice. And it's funny. My friend said you sound like Tony Hinchcliffe, and I'm like, no, he doesn't. He goes,
Oh, that's mean, bro. Tony Hinchcliffe has got a nasally voice. That's not very nice. He's high pitched. He's skinny. Looks like
actually, it was my neighbor. He goes, yeah, oh, FocusTripp. Yeah, watch his stuff. He sounds like Tony Hinchcliffe. I was like, no, no, he doesn't. Maybe. Don't worry. Everyone says I look like Alex Jones. Every video. You look just like Alex Jones. Oh, your audio died.
my bad. I think it's
Oh, there you
bald
are.
racism. Okay. They think all bald people look alike. Did you see
Right?
that interview? It happened the other day. Dana White was interviewing somewhere, and the reporter said, "How's it going, Joe Rogan?" And then Dana White just walks off. He's like, "Did you call me Joe Rogan?" It's bald racism. We need to have a new term for bald racism because it's
Baldism.
baldism. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. It's a disability. Okay, it affects like 40% of men, and we really go unsung in this cold, cruel world. Okay.
Yeah, it was funny. The last thing I saw with Dana White, he was sitting ringside in the UK, and they go, "Why don't you have any ring girls in the UK?" And he goes, "Oh, because you have to have ring boys too.
What
That's a UK thing."
it sounds like a comedy sketch almost, right? It's like the inverse world where you go over to the UK and it's like, oh no, you have to have ring boys here, no ring girls, just ring boys here. It's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Let's check the chat. So C6 says the 7250 for the Reaper, comp ported Atlas Urbis is 85 plus. I would take the Reaper easily over that gun. Urbis is cool, but the one I reviewed, Honest Outlaw had it right before I got it, so it was zeroed perfectly. But yeah, no, the
Mm.
Reaper is unbelievable. Let's see, Joe Morris, Billy Coogan, no, Bald Lives Matter, and
Bald
bald
lives
is
matter.
not a disability; it's a superpower. Yeah, okay. I can tell my wife that.
Well, hey, hopefully she doesn't mind too much. Got at some point you just got to get used to it, right?
No, I've been bald since shit. I've been bald since I was at 19. Well, I've
Oh,
been
really?
shaving my
Okay.
head since I was 19. I tried to grow it back during COVID just to see, and I realized I was no longer bald by choice. So,
Right. Yeah. What was a habit is now forced upon you. That is funny.
yeah, I was like, I could always grow it back if I want. Mm-mm,
Gone. Yeah.
not in the cards. So, what did you think about? I saw your thing on the Keltec nub sub.
Mhm. I love the concept because PCCs were in a really weird phase for a while, especially Keltec with their sub 2K, where it's like, hey, it folds and it's really small. But then at the end of the day, it's still a 16-inch 9mm PCC.
Mm,
And it's like, hey, could you just make this, but not 16 inches and with a collapsible stock that's like shorter? And it took them, what, 20 years almost?
yeah,
And they finally did it. And it comes out and it's like 600 bones. So it's a really attractive price tag. It's really small and compact. If it
yeah.
works, which is always the asterisk, right?
No,
If the
I
thing
have
actually
one.
works.
I
Do you
have
like
one.
it?
I reviewed it. I shot the hell out of it, and it runs. What I wish, so when you pull back the charging handle, you can't flip it up and lock it like a regular sub 2K. But if you could pull it back and then slap it, that would have been cool.
Okay, so they don't have any lockback function on the
No,
the charging handle? Oh, that's
no.
too bad. That's a missed
Dang, it
opportunity
would have
right
been
there.
really sweet if you could slap that sucker.
Mhm.
You do the little HK slap.
Yeah. No, I
But it's
mean,
a great gun. It shoots. I modified a Savior Equipment chest bag. It fits in it with an optic.
mhm. Have you shot it suppressed at all?
Oh yeah,
How
a
does
little
it shoot
gassy,
compared
but
to
the
the original
suppressor I was
sub 2K?
using I wasn't really using a like a really quality suppressor. I was just using whatever. It shot great, suppressed, unsuppressed. What I noticed in my video, especially, is I was shooting a hush ammo, and as I was shooting it,
Mhm.
um, the regular 124 grain shot fantastic suppressed. Then it wasn't really suppressed. It did take the edge off it, but it shot really tight. And then I shot it out to 50, 60 yards. And then when I put the hush ammo in, it pattern spread out about 3 or 4 inches. So I don't know. Subsonic, it didn't do too great, but I I I know a lot of people said, "Oh, it's a terrible accuracy," but that gun, are you really going to shoot it out past 30 yards? I don't know, not me.
Most people probably never will. I mean, I'd like a sub gun or any PCC really to print like a fist size group at 50 yards, right?
It does.
Ideally, that's what I'd like. Does it need to be any better than that? No. You know, and sometimes PCCs are sensitive with ammo type. Like I have one of those Novox Research SD kits where it
Mhm.
like turns the whole, it's a ported barrel, right? Then you have a sleeve that goes over top of it. And that thing is so sensitive with ammo. Like you'll go from one type and it'll be shooting like a 2-inch group at 25 yards. You switch in another type of ammo and it's like a 9-inch group at 25 yards. So it's very, very ammo sensitive. Not entirely sure why, but that just seems to be the case.
Let me ask you a question. Let's do another typical gun question.
Mhm.
Because everyone, I always go, I try to ask everybody these questions. What's a gun that you own that you regret selling? Do you have any regrets?
Um, I mean, I've sold like 4 ACRs, Bushmaster ACRs, the OG Modern Warfare 2 kind of special.
Oh yeah,
And
those are sweet.
I love them. They're my favorite firearm. They're not particularly good, like as a shooter, but I kind of wish I still had one because the last one I sold for like 1600 and now they're like 35. So I'm
Mm,
less likely to get one again in the future, unless they come out with a new updated rerun of them or something like that. But yeah, probably that. Other than that, most guns that I've sold because I disliked them or because I didn't like them enough to keep. So like,
yeah.
good.
My wife put me on a pretty healthy rotation. One comes in, one goes out. And so if it doesn't have sentimental value, it's just a tool, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't get like physically attached to firearms or optics or weird things, even if they're expensive, because yeah, I'm not like materially interested in them as essentially paperweights, right? So for me, it's like when I'm talking bad about a firearm, I don't understand when other people get offended, but it's because other people are emotionally invested in their firearms as well as financially, right? That it's like if you insult their firearm, you're like insulting them personally, right? Because they take it personally for them. Whereas I've
Yeah.
never gotten that. It's like it's a thing, It's like I don't get upset at like I don't know a rock or something. It's just an inanimate object. It does not care what I can say. I can say awful things about a rock. It will not care.
Yeah. You know what? I do have something, a small bone to pick with you.
Go
Tiny
for it.
bit. Tiny bit. I bought an LPVO because I saw you review one. And I
Mhm.
bought one and I used it and I just don't like it. It was I
Which
don't
one did
it's
you
not
get?
for LPVOs, I don't think are for everybody.
Correct. 100%. Because
But you
I
you
choose
said you liked it and I'm like, "You know what? Focus, I met that guy. He seems like a nice guy. Let me go buy one." No, I didn't buy it. Swamp Fox sent me one. So I used
Okay.
the Swamp Fox
Which
LPVO.
one? Because I have a Swamp Fox LPVO. I
Um,
think it's behind me
I
on the
think it's
floor.
the Warhawk.
Okay. Hmm.
And I don't know that just the I didn't like it, man. And I don't know. I was like, man, is it me or is it the gun? I just didn't, I don't know.
Hmm.
LPV, I just didn't get it. I was like, what about just a regular red dot? Can we just go back to that?
Well, that's the thing. I think red dots work for like 99% of people unless you have some horrifying astigmatism, right?
Right.
People look at an LPVO and they're like, oh, it has 1x magnification and a 6x magnification. Therefore, it does everything. And it's like, well, kind of. Most LPVOs have a really bad 1x. Like it does not look natural. It does like
Wow.
you get a weird depth perception. A lot of them are warpy. Some of the best ones have a really good looking 1x where it's kind of like a red dot, but that's like the best of the best, right? And then when you dial it up to 6x, you realize that the eye box is really tight. 6x magnification is not all that much, you know, in the grand
Mm.
scheme of things. If you have a 2 to 12 or a 3 to 15 or something, it's like that's a more usable amount of magnification for long range stuff. So LPVOs are a compromise optic. They're an optic that is not for everyone. They're very niche, even though just the numbers kind of imply that, oh, you can use this for everything, right? I can shoot at 0 yards and I can shoot at 500 yards. And it's like you can do that, but it kind of sucks at both of them, you know?
Yes.
So like
Yes.
I used an
Yes.
LPVO in a rifle match like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I had a fine time with it. But I probably would have had a better time with just a red dot because I wasn't shooting far enough to take advantage of the magnification. Now I shot it with an LPVO just as kind of a joke because that was when Lucas Botkin actually and Jesse Cinco are talking about how LPVOs are bad. So I was like, you know what? Just for fun, I'm going to shoot this rifle match with an LPVO and see how it goes. But yeah, it's niche. It's not the standard. A red dot and magnifier, that's standard. Everybody can use that. An LPVO is the niche optic.
Yeah, I remember I was like, "Fucking focus, man." I don't
Hey,
know.
you
I
can't
don't
blame
understand why you
me
like.
for Swamp Fox Warhawk thingamajig having a bad 1x. That's not my fault.
No, I was like, it just feels weird. You know what I really got into? I have the setup on a couple guns where I have the like a 1x9 or I have a 1x12, and then I have
Mhm,
the offset red dot.
mhm.
Dude, I love that. I don't know why, but I just dig having the offset red dot. It makes me feel like I'm in the hood or something. Like, yo,
Right.
dog. I just flip it sideways. I dig it.
Yeah, well, feeling cool is half the battle, all right. So if it
Uh,
makes you feel cool, do it.
yeah, I don't know. Have you ever tried that? I'm sure you've tried the
Well,
offset mounts.
I've shot offset red dots before. Yeah, I mean, I have
It's
a bunch of
so
different
cool.
offset mounts. It it is weird. So have you ever seen those weird gamer guys like shooting PCC where they all have two red dots, one straight up and then one offset?
Yeah.
It's because every now and again there's a really weird lean or something, and they use that offset red dot for the lean. Because if you rotate the gun, it's
I
easier to
always
get out there
wondered. I
around
was
it.
like, that's so
Yeah.
bizarre.
So no, offset red dots, they absolutely work. People use them all the time.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, "Ah, I could get used to this. This is all right." I
Yeah.
got it on two of my rifle setups. I dig them. It looks
Mhm.
a little cheesy. What did my wife call it? No, I can't say that on team. I can't say it on the internet. She said it looks she wasn't very fond of it.
Yeah, well, I
But
mean, aesthetics aside, they do work though.
yeah. So here's something too. It's like, so do you always shoot red dots, or do you shoot irons once in a while to kind of brush up?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So I have an STI Edge in 40 iron sights that I've been shooting a lot of. I've been shooting it every week, a couple hundred rounds for the last like 6 months. So I've shot many thousands of rounds through it, and I could not get that thing to group. I was like, maybe I'm just doing this wrong. Maybe my index is just off. Like, I'm shooting it, trying to shoot it like I shoot all my other guns, being target focused, shooting it quickly, on the move, hard shots and whatnot. And I'm getting patterns that are like 6 inches to the left and 6 inches to the right at 25 yards. And I'm like, maybe I just suck with iron sights. Maybe I'm just awful. Come to find out, the front sight post is loose and moving around and has been
Oh,
moving around for the last 6 months. So,
that made you feel
yes, I
better.
do shoot with iron sights. And maybe I'm not terrible with them. Maybe I'm actually okay with them. And I have just been gaslighting myself by not checking the front sight post because during shooting, I'm like, damn, I can't shoot this thing. This sucks. And I've kept at it for so long. I've tried to be good. I've tried to be fast, and it hasn't worked out. But see,
Yeah, but
now
you know what's
might need to
funny?
get another
Actually,
iron sight gun and try it.
I kind of want to do a video on this, but I think most people should absolutely learn with irons first, because I know someone that just got into shooting,
Mhm.
and I tried to shoot one of their guns and everything was 5 inches to the left. And it's because they just moved their red dot far to the left to compensate for their shitty shooting habits.
Interesting.
So
I
they never shot irons. They got their first gun and put a red dot on it, and they just moved the dot over to compensate for their shitty habit.
right. So they push the dot up high and to the right to compensate
Yeah,
for their low left shooting. That's
yeah.
funny. That's
No, but
funny.
it's like, man, you ever shoot irons? And he goes, nah, I never shoot irons. I mean, got a red dot. I'm like, oh, he's a killer with the red dot. But then, he just, it's ironic that he just compensates
Yeah.
for terrible grip and all that.
I mean, I think iron sights are more complicated, right? Because you have the target, you have the front sight, you have the rear sight, you have more things to balance, right? In
Mm.
terms of like with a red dot, it's like there's a dot on the place where I'm looking that gives me permission to pull the trigger, right? But with like if you have a target at let's say 10 yards with iron sights, you're like, okay, there's a spot on the target. There's a blurry front sight post, and somewhere back here there's also a rear sight post block, and I'm like trying to line them up while still being target focused. And it's a lot. There's a lot more to do rather than just dot on, color on target, pull the trigger, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Hold on, this is not working. Come on. All right, here we go. Sorry about that.
There you go, homie.
I think so how did you get into competition shooting? Because my wife just joined this girl in a gun, and she's like, hey, let's do it. They do a big conference in Colorado. So I'm in the process of now of getting her a gun belt. And I have a Tacticon armament gun belt, but I don't want to get shamed for using that in public. So I'm not using that one. It probably
Hey,
won't
no, I
last. It's probably
used
gonna break immediately.
what's that old brand Condor? I used a Condor battle belt for like a year in
Really.
competition. Yeah, they're
They
awful,
have a
but
huge booth at SHOT every year.
I'm sure they still sell because it's just cheap nylon products. But so like getting into competition shooting was kind of a joke, kind of a meme, right? So almost 2 years ago now, on a call with Matt Pranka and Ben Stager, and Matt Pranka just is going off on everybody in the chat, telling them they don't know how to shoot, right? You're not a competition shooter. You're not M class, is what I think he said. So then you don't get to have any opinion on shooting. And I'm like, I've never shot a competition, but I think I'm okay, right? Because
Yeah.
I've been shooting for like 5 years. I can shoot quickly. I could do a competition, right? Surely. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to try and get M class so that I can, tell Matt Pranka that now I can have an opinion on shooting or something like that. And so it really did kind of start out as a joke. So then I started driving to local matches, and I met people at the local matches, and I'm like, oh, these people are pretty cool. And so now I go to like, 3 to 5 matches a month, and 60 matches later, I'm a GM in USPSA. So it's kind of, it's like,
Are you really?
yeah, I'm a GM in USPSA. It all started as a joke.
No kidding.
Mhm. Yep.
And how long?
It took me 1 year, 1 month, and 14 days from unranked to GM.
That's wild. I thought that took like a couple years, like 4 or 5 years.
It's not as difficult as most people think. That being said, most people will never achieve it, but it really is just achieving a certain level of speed consistently. And that's it. Like the flashy shooting that you see on YouTube or Instagram shorts, where like the crazy trick shotters are doing, you don't need to be that fast. You really don't. You need to be able to shoot to and move, basically, and transition quickly. Like you just need to be able to do everything at like a high level and do it consistently, and you'll make GM. Like it's actually
Oh
not that
yeah,
complicated.
of course. Just do everything at a high level. Easy,
Well,
easy peasy.
it's not even like the top tier level. It's like the top shooters are infinitely better than me, right? Like they're in a different class of human than I am when it comes to shooting. But like I just do everything like pretty good, and you just do that consistently. So what I'm saying is the barrier to entry is not as high as most people think.
Hmm.
I guarantee you. Like if you watch me shoot and you're like, "Oh, that was a GM run on that." Like some of them might look flashy and cool, but most of them look like, "Oh, no, that's just what you do there." It's like you draw and shoot the targets. It's like, that's crazy. There really is nothing complex about shooting. It's
So
like
what's your current setup?
it's a Shadow 2. So I run a Shadow 2. I'm a GM in carry optics and a M in limited optics.
Okay. So what kind of belt and stuff? What's your setup?
Well, I can go grab it for you real fast. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Let me check that out. All right. Look at this. We get some behind the scenes with FocusTripp. Very cool.
Oh. Dude, I forgot that was my profile picture. What the heck?
It's all right. I mean, we won't judge you.
Well, you can. It's all right. So this is funny. So this is the belt. It's like a CR speed belt rig. It's just Velcro on the inside. I got this because it was the cheapest one. It was like $30. This holster is a Carry Optics legal holster with like a thumb retention here on the back, so it locks in place. I got this holster because it was the cheapest one. The mag pouches are the CR Speed mag pouches, and then I forget which one this is, but I bought them because they were the cheapest ones.
So this is like to prove a point.
Well, it is a real gamer rig. It's just not flashy. Like the holster, belt, and magazine pouches are like total probably like $200. Whereas some people spend $200 on like just the holster and like one hanger. There are some mag pouches out there that are like $100 a piece.
Yeah.
So this is a
great.
very cheap rig. This is like the cheapest rig you can build outside of something that you already have. So
yeah.
It's not expensive. It's not crazy. It's just magazine pouches and a bucket for the gun. That's literally it. And then what the real secret is, which is really boring, but you do a half hour of dry fire every day. That's the real secret right there.
Dry fire is super important, I heard.
Yeah. And you just do that every single day for a year and you'll make it. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
It's just like, it really is just like working out.
Getting into it. And I want to encourage her without, she doesn't watch my show, so I can talk about her. I want to encourage her without putting her off. And so I'm like low key trying to buy like belts and look around, like what sponsors do I have that sell that stuff I can ask for like a discount or, put them in some videos. Cause I'm going to do a 5-part video series on her joining Girl in a Gun. Cause I don't know if you know, they take it very serious.
That's good. Yeah, no, I haven't heard of it before, but yeah, glad to see
Girl
more
in a
people
Gun
getting into
started
shooting.
about 8 or 9 years ago, and they do this thing in Colorado now. Last year, they had over 1,000 women show up, and they're not taking. And it's a 4-day course. Each day is 2 classes, 4 hours each, and it's not like it's hardcore. Like Guns Out TV, John did a video on them last year. They do a sniper school. They do shooting from helicopters. They do. I mean, you can do. It's pretty crazy shit. They take it extremely serious. And there's some like super feminist, men are pigs probably in that group, but whatever. I heard that most of them are just girls that like to shoot and have a good time. So I'm totally like, look, you go do you, have fun. And so I'm trying to get her ready for this and set up so she can just go and just have. Well, I'm going to do a video series on, getting set up, the gear, some private training lessons, her classes that she goes to twice a month, and then the actual conference.
Well, I think we cover a lot of people on the show sometimes that are like trainers for females, and that usually goes like one of 2 ways. One, they're scam artists who don't know how to shoot, or they're like really terrible people, right? So I mean, I'm glad to hear that there's an actual organization out there that's doing it the right way, because training, especially people that cater to women and do like women's only classes, like it's a minefield of people who are just there to take advantage of people who don't know any better, and some of the trainers and instructors are hilarious in terms of how bad they are anyways.
Oh yeah. Plus, I don't know, man. And this is just all women, and they come geared out, and there's some serious shooters. And if you watch this video, I mean, of course, they got some little Hello Kitty patterns on some of their guns. Those same girls will outshoot a lot of people. It's crazy. I mean, they take it super serious. Like the class she joined here at the local, they have about 9, 10 girls in this group. They're all okay. Tea, coffee, cool. Let's go shoot. It's not, oh, let's talk about women's issues and let's blah blah blah. They are just
Right.
all right, cool.
Let's
Hey,
take
you're here,
down the
great. Let's go
patriarchy
shoot.
with our guns. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm so excited that she joined. Like I'm beaming. Now I want to get my kids shooting more. Like they
Mhm.
go shoot all the time. My son shoots with me all the time, but I want to get them, to go out and maybe run some drills and stuff. And it just make it a family thing because I like shooting and I want to spend time with my family. And now I just want to smush them
Do it
together.
together. Yeah, that's right. My youngest is or my oldest, sorry, is 6. And so he comes out with me to the range, usually when I'm just out practicing or filming for whatever it is. So he's not like into shooting, but when he is a little bit older, he'll start getting like, actual trigger time and whatnot. That'll be fun.
How many kids do you have?
Right now, 3.
No, do you
Yeah.
have six?
6, 4, 2,
Oh
basically.
man,
Yeah.
girls, boys,
Boy, girl, boy.
boy, girl, boy. Good
Yeah.
in the middle,
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wanted a son, of course. I needed an heir. So now I got an heir and a spare, and I don't care what the rest are if we have any more.
Well, you know what they say, kids are like pancakes. The first one's always a little fucked up.
that is funny. Okay. Well, there's a learning curve there, right? With kids, just like with guns. Okay. There's a learning curve with kids. So the first one, you make a couple of mistakes and then they kind of get ironed out with the next couple that come along. So there's
So,
probably
you
some
know
truth
what's
to that.
funny? The way you treat your daughter is going to be 1,000% different than your son, if it's not already.
Oh, it
But
is. Yeah.
especially as they get
1,000%.
older. When they
Well,
get
see,
older,
my daughter loves me. So that's the difference, right?
oh, it
Whereas
gets so much better for you.
well, good because my sons view me as a trampoline, an obstacle course, um, a tower to push over. Like that's what my sons view me as. But my daughter actually loves me for me. So she's probably the only one in the family that actually loves me for me. Okay, it's very heartening.
No, no, no. So what's really good about when they turn about 10 or 11, they really get defensive. So if your wife tries to get snippy with you, man, my daughter, I came in from work about a month ago and I was really exhausted. And my wife just started talking about something. And my daughter goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Can he just take his shoes off and just relax a minute? God,
Aw.
mom. And so I go, don't talk to your mom like that. High five. High five.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for that. Here's a 5 under the table.
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. It's cool. And then, when they get older, walking to the mailbox or just going to the park or something. With boys, it's like, yeah, make sure you have your fingers when you come home.
Exactly.
But with
Yeah.
girls, it's
Or
like, who's
you
going to
don't
be
have someone
there?
else's fingers when you come home, please.
Yeah, yeah. It's different, man. So with six, he's going through his Lego phase right now, or is he still in like monster
Very much
trucks
so.
and
Yes. No,
trains?
we have in the living room. We have one of those Lego table things where it's like that's the area where you can build stuff, and so it's like a daily thing with somehow we have a Lego table where all of the Legos go, but of course they end up
Everywhere.
everywhere else. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is. And then we have a 2-year-old too, right? Who wants to get in there and play with everybody else's stuff. So he then is basically a walking landmine of wherever he goes. There's just a mess that follows. So
That's
no, but it's great.
fantastic, man.
I love my kids. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy raising them and hanging out with them and spending time with them. So it's nice to be able to do what I do and have kids, right?
Yeah.
Because like being able to stay at home provides me a lot more time. So I
Is
enjoy that.
YouTube your full-time gig?
Well, YouTube and videography, but it all revolves around YouTube stuff.
Oh,
So
nice.
more or less, yes. It's just here. It's either here or in the shop, but it's home centered.
Oh, very cool. I do sales, so it's something I can do, and my schedule's super flexible, and I can. Cause I tell you what, man, kids will remember everything you don't go to in the school functions. You'll go to a
Yeah.
million parent teacher things. The one you don't go to is the one they remember.
Right. Yeah.
So never miss any of that shit.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like you're never going to get that time back with them.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky
I'm
to have
glad you know
had
your
good parents
priorities.
to
I
spend
know a
time
lot
with
of people
me.
that do YouTube and they make it their whole life and they sacrifice too much and it's like, man, it's not worth it. It's fun, but it's not worth family time and all that stuff. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
it's
100%.
terrible. Some people don't get it.
Well, it's different priorities, right? I mean, you can you can
100%.
uh you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat people that are subservient to them, whether it's their coworkers or whether it's the server at a restaurant or whether it's their own kids, right? It's the people who can't possibly offer you anything in life. It's how you treat those people is usually a good sign of your character.
Yeah. Oh, remember that movie Scrooged?
Hmm. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Bill Murray quotes. He goes, "You know what they say about people you treat bad on the way up?" He goes, "Yeah, you can treat them just in the bad on the way down."
uh, but unfortunately, true.
Yeah, I make it a point at restaurants now. I make them ask the waiter or waitress's name, and then they order for the whole table. So
Oh, there you go.
we tell like my son, they take turns. So I tell my son what I want, my wife and my daughter, and then he goes, "Excuse me, what's your name? Great, it's very nice to meet you. My mom will have, then my sister will have, then my dad will have, and then I will have." And they love
Oh,
it. They
good.
think it's the coolest game ever. But it teaches like some respect.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
waiters get a kick out of it.
Well, yeah, and it also teaches them how to interact with adults or just people in general, how to be courteous, how to, actually ask for things, right? Because my son, he's 6, and there are times where he's really introverted, and there are times where he's really extroverted. So it's just about like, how do you actually go up to somebody and talk to them? How do you actually introduce yourself? Hey, my name's Bruce. What's your name? If you're going and
Yeah.
talking to another kid, all sorts of like little learning stuff that you got to go through.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. Yeah, there's a big airport by my house, and we used to just get donuts and go to the airport and watch airplanes land. That's the whole
There you
day.
go. Yeah.
I would take them to PetSmart and tell them it was the zoo. And they're 2 years
They
old. They
don't
don't know. They don't know what the
PetSmart
zoo
isn't
is.
that cool anymore, isn't? Because I do remember going to PetSmart as a kid, but now they've like removed a lot of the animals, or is it still?
Oh, the one in Texas, it's still pretty wild. You can
Oh,
still
okay.
see ferrets and all that stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Maybe it was just Washington State then that was so lame. But yeah, no, I haven't been to a
You said
PetSmart
you're in
forever.
South Carolina?
South Dakota now. Yeah. I was in Washington 3, 4 years ago,
Oh,
but
South
moved out
Dakota.
of
What's
there.
South
Yeah.
Dakota like?
It's flat and it's boring and the people are super nice. There's
Oh, I
one
love
big
it.
town and it's Sioux Falls and there's 250,000 people in it. It's
Oh,
great.
kind of sounds like heaven.
Well, like it's one of those things where I live in a tiny town, like 1,200 people, like 45 minutes west of it, and you're like driving down the road, and every single person waves at you,
I love
every
it.
single one. Yeah, people
So
know
I
you
grew up
by
in
name.
LA
You
and
go
I
to
moved to
the
Texas.
community pool. It's great.
So I moved to Texas and everyone is so nice and they chat you up everywhere. And
Mhm.
in Los Angeles, you just keep your eyes straight, you mind your business, you keep it
Yeah.
moving.
Well, it's
Because
like in Washington, it was the same way. They call it the Seattle shoulder, right?
yeah,
Where it's like you don't talk to anyone. You just go about your day. No one cares about you. You don't care about anyone. And yeah, the vibe is very different here. The people are a lot better. So even though, yeah, it's boring and it's flat and it's all farmland, the people actually make it cool.
nice. All right, let's see.
And there's actually somehow a good shooting community here. Like there's 3 matches within an hour of me each direction. So it's
Oh,
like
that's very cool.
I actually have places to go, which is cool.
So Fluffy in the chat says, "Smash, you won't like it there. It gets really cold."
It does get cold. Yes. It gets super hot, 100 plus degrees in the summertime, and then it gets -20, -30 in the wintertime. Sometimes you'll get a foot of snow, sometimes you'll get a couple inches of snow, sometimes you get 3 feet of snow. You never know.
Yeah, that sounds like heaven.
But I love snow. So for me, it's like I get all the seasons, and the only part of the year that's a little rough is like 3 weeks in the middle of summer for me. Other than that, I have a great time.
Yeah. Like if I was making really good money on YouTube, we would get up and move to a small town. We just spent a couple days in Prescott, Arizona.
Mhm.
Incredible town. I mean, we were blown away. It was just like out of a movie. Super clean, super nice. Talking to the cop, what's your crime rate? Someone will
Right.
steal a tractor.
Well,
There's a guy at the
yeah,
bar. A guy at the bar gets unruly, but they don't have like murders. And I mean, nothing really.
right.
Yeah, you stole my cow.
Well, exactly. It's stuff like that where it's small town drama versus big city, violent crime sprees or whatever it happens to be, right? So that for me is really important. I like having a place where I feel that not only like I'm physically safe, but more importantly, if I ever have to go somewhere and my kids or my wife are around, like, they're not going to have the house broken into while I'm gone or something like that. We
Yeah,
don't have predators. We don't have, whatever else that it might be, that you find in some of these big metropolitan areas. So like that's
yeah,
something that I really like about it.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, it was funny. We drove into Prescott. We had our own luggage in the back, laptop bags, all that stuff. We just left it. Didn't even bother. Like we felt completely safe just leaving it there, which is crazy to me
Mhm.
because you would never do that. Even in Texas, we live in a really nice area. Nah, you still lock
Mhm.
everything up.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a very different environment, that's for sure. So,
Yeah.
I mean, coming from Washington, where it was like meth central, basically, where we used to live
Right?
right off the I-5 corridor, and now it's like total culture shock, basically.
It's nice though. It's a good place to raise kids.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Well, hey man, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time. I know it was a little wonky with the timing, and I'm glad you were able to make it. But I always have a good conversation, man. I wish we could run this back, maybe right before maybe end of September. Run this back again. It's always a good time having a chat.
Sure, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. I mean, I'm sure we'll see each other at SHOT Show coming up.
Yeah. Where do you stay at Shot? Do you stay right there with the
It
bougie
changes
hotels?
every time, dude. It sometimes I'm in Airbnb, sometimes I'm in a hotel. I
The
literally have no
Rio.
idea right now. So yeah,
Dude, there's a lot of cool spots. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you're making so many friends online. I'm sure so many people are going to want to see you at Shot Show.
yeah. Whether it's good or bad, people want to see me at SHOT Show. You never know.
I'm gonna. Hey, when if you talk to Lucas again, tell him he was a schmo.
I
Because
will do.
I was a huge
I'll
fan.
send
I
him a
was like,
message
that
right
guy,
now. Okay.
that guy
I'll say
burned me.
Smash
I felt like
Time
a
sends his
leper.
regards.
Yeah, I felt terrible. Anyway, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, everyone. I'm gonna put his link in the chat. If you do not subscribe to Focus Trip, you're living under a rock. It's one
True.
of the best channels online. Really informative. If you go back in his library, he has reviews on tons of. Actually, when I get an optic or I want to think about an optic, I go look at his stuff first.
Oh well, thank you. I
That's
appreciate
it,
that. It's very kind.
because the buck stops there. He knows what he's talking about, folks. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it, and that's it, guys. Till next time.